Jake Kalish back on the rubber for the Wareham Gatemen here in the top of the 7th inning at Spillane Field. The Bourne Braves 3, the Wareham Gatemen 0. And for the top of the 7th, I'm joined by a special guest, Bourne Braves bat boy, Colin Norkevicius. Colin, glad to have you on the broadcast.
It's a pleasure to be on.
Colin, of course, a Braves bat boy, 11 years old. And today, Colin, you did something that a few of the Braves have done well this season. You hit your first career home run.
It was very special.
A very special moment indeed, Colin. A Little League player, I believe. What team do you play for? Is it South Plymouth?
Yes.
South,
yes, it is.
South Plymouth. All right. So, Colin's joining me here in the top half of the 7th. Blake Alamond will lead things off. He's taking the spot in the order for Richie Martin in the leadoff hole. Richie Martin finishing his night 2 for 3. Kalish into his motion. First pitch of the inning. Alamond cuts at it and misses for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Kalish rocks into his motion. The pitch called strike on the outside corner. 0-2. Now, Colin, you've had a chance to be the Braves bat boy this season. The other day, you took the outfield with the club. Alamond laces one into right field. That gets down in front of the right fielder Vasquez for a base hit. Alamond aboard with the leadoff single. And to that point, Colin, I have to ask you, when you were in the outfield the other day, your favorite Bourne Braves players just to hang out with and take the field with?
If, like, Brian Servin's one of them. We just kept shagging balls, and the pitchers were in the left field, and so I was hanging out mostly with the pitchers and Servin over in left field.
Brian Servin, the designated hitter, due up 5th this inning. Brett Sullivan up to the plate. Sullivan laces one into the Bourne Braves dugout. Take cover, Harvey. He's all right down there, and the count's 0-1.
And that was very not surprising that Brett Sullivan just swung at a first pitch right there.
Brett Sullivan loves to go after the first pitch. We see it, we say it from the broadcast booth all the time. Colin says it from near the on-deck circle. Sullivan, high chopper, right side, and it's to the right of the chalk over near the first base dugout. 0-2 the count to the left-hander from the University of Pacific. He's 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. Kalish motions the pitch, off-speed delivery off the outside corner, ball 1. That gets a few jeers from this Wareham Gatemen crowd. Now we know you like Brian Servin in the outfield. You also had the opportunity this summer to host Mark Laird in your house as Sullivan pops this pitch up behind the John H. Wild press box. The count goes 1-2. So many of the host families play such an integral role in the success of the Bourne Braves. Colin, a host brother to Mark Laird, what's it like been living with the LSU right fielder?
It's been fun, and it's the second year with Mark because he was here last year. And he's having a much better season offensively this year than he was last year, and he's been here most of the season this year.
1-2 pitch hit down the right field line in foul territory. That one hit on the line. Vasquez chased toward the corner but pulled up. Count remains 1-2. Now, earlier this season, Mark was joined in the house. Dylan Hecht, a right-hander from UC Santa Barbara, also lived with you guys. Sullivan out in front of this off-speed pitch, popped up down the first base line as the first baseman salvo in foul territory, and he makes the catch. So 1 out here. Blake Alamond stays put over at first base. I'm so used to saying that Richie Martin's on base when Brett Sullivan's at the plate. Got cut up there. And now Mark Laird was supposed to bat 3rd in this order, but he was replaced by Stephen Wren. And Wren will come to the plate for his first plate appearance. Wren standing in the right-handed batter's box. Kalish on the rubber. From the stretch, he looks over. Alamond on first. First pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Now, the difference between living with a hitter and a pitcher, I gotta know.
With the hitter, you know he's playing.
There goes Sullivan, or Alamond, excuse me, to throw down the second, and it's in time. Alamond gunned down on the bases by the catcher, Keaton Aldridge, 2 outs. But back to that, with the hitter, you know he's playing with a pitcher.
And especially with a relief pitcher like Hecht, you don't know any day with the rotation Harvey Shapiro has. You never know.
You never know. So Mark Laird wakes up. He knows he's in the lineup. Wren cuts and misses. That's strike 2. The count to 1-2. Very interesting there. An opportunity to be a host family, a host brother, always available for families on Cape Cod. 1-2 pitch off the inside corner. Count to 2-2. 2-2 pitch off the outside corner. And you've had the opportunity to host players for the last few seasons, Colin. As the count goes full, Jake Kalish into his motion payoff pitch. Wren swings through it. That's strike 3. So before you go, Colin, the inning over, the Bourne Braves still in front 3-0. Your favorite player you've ever hosted?
Probably Dalton Hicks from University of Central Florida.
Dalton Hicks, University of Central Florida. He's tearing it up in pro ball.
Yes, he is.
As I understand. I'm sure you keep in touch with his stats. You look at that every day. Does your family still keep in touch with Mr. Hicks?
Yeah, yes, we do.
You do? So the favorite player you've hosted, Dalton Hicks. Mark Laird probably living up to that after 2 seasons.
Probably, yep. Yes, he is.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here in the top half of the 7th inning. That was Bourne Braves bat boy Colin Norkevicius. We head to the bottom half of the frame. Bourne 3, Wareham 0. Looks like it could be a new pitcher on the hill. We'll have that for you when we come back.